Okay. I'd like to welcome everyone out to our Layton City Council meeting this evening for November 17th. No, 17th, excuse me. Our start time tonight is 7:10. We appreciate your patience. We did have a special meeting prior to this that we definitely needed to hear some additional comments on, so I appreciate your patience there. As customary for our council meeting, we take turns as far as conducting the prayer and pledge. Tonight it is my turn, and so I would like to invite everyone to please stand and do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you. Tonight, I've actually asked a special guest to give our prayer tonight. It's Pastor Kevin. He's with the Church of Nazarene. So, Kevin, if you wouldn't, Pastor, wouldn't you mind coming up to the podium here and you can have our prayer?
And it is a joy to be here. I was unaware that my football team was going to be here. So, hey guys. So that worked out nicely. I pastor, and then I also teach part-time up at Layton Christian Academy. And so, which I'm sure you guys will hear more about. We have a prayer here that was written for us to pray for our local government and its officers. Will you bow your head with me? Almighty God, our Heavenly Father, would you now, during this meeting, send down upon those who hold office in our city here of Layton, would you send that spirit, your spirit, that gives wisdom, that gives charity, that gives justice. And would you grant that with a singular purpose, they can faithfully serve in their offices to just promote the well-being of all of the citizens of this wonderful city in which we live. Heavenly Father, they're just talking about something as trite, and yet it's not trite at all, as water, as giving people fresh water, culinary and secondary. And I just thought, you want thirsty people to drink water. And that's certainly not something trite. And yet there are some hard decisions to be made there. And it's just an example of all the hard decisions that city officers all over Utah, all over the country, all over the world need to make. And so I'm just so grateful for these people, their willingness to kind of engage some really hard topics and hope that the well-being of the entire citizenry of our city somehow is improved because of it. So they need your wisdom, God. Would you grant it to them? And would you grant it to all of us as we share in this wonderful city together? And we pray all this through Jesus Christ, who is our Lord. Amen.
Amen. Wow. Thank you for such a beautiful prayer.
Oh, Lambert.
The reason why I asked Pastor Kevin to come up and give us a prayer is because we have a special program coming on. And I typically would wait until we have our municipal announcements, but I think it would just be appropriate if maybe we have the Pullums come up and tell about this program that is available this weekend.
Thank you for having me come to share just a little bit about this community interfaith Christmas concert that we put on every year for the community. We're so excited. It's just a few days away. It's going to be this Sunday. It's November 20th. The concert starts at 7, but the doors to the auditorium and the foyer and everything open to the general public at 6:20 p.m. So we look forward to having everyone come. It usually fills up really fast, so get there early. We do have our Davis Interfaith Choir and Symphony performs every year, and that consists of during Christmas, we have about 190 singers and a 50-piece orchestra, and then we also perform a Lamb of God every year for Easter, and that's about 350 singers and about an 80-piece orchestra. So it's really a wonderful thing that so many come from all over the community and different faiths to perform in these two great concerts and events. We're so grateful. we have a special little slide presentation this year that we put together, and it's just a lot of pictures from people in the community that will be doing the slide presentation while we perform Somewhere in My Memory. So it's just kind of going to be a special thing for the community to be able to come, and hopefully you'll recognize people on the slideshow because they are people from the community here. We also have a guest artist coming, Daniel Beck, who will be doing several solo numbers for us, and he's amazing, and it will be really wonderful to have him share that night with us. And then we do have 3 churches participating, choirs, the Faith Baptist, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and the Mountain Road Church will be doing a couple of numbers also in the program. So we really have about, with narrators, we've got a lot of narrators coming also to participate that will be reading narrations throughout the program. And so with everyone helping, we've got about 14 different churches in this community participating in this. So it will be a really wonderful community event, and we're just so excited to be able to share that with everyone. Pastor Kevin, who just gave the prayer, is going to be the Master of Ceremonies this year. So we're excited to have him do that for us. So just hope everyone can come out and support. We're just so grateful to the city, the council, all of the community members for making this such a special event for everyone every year. And we thank you for letting us share that with you. Thank you.
Well, thank you, and thank you for all your hard work and dedication in pulling this entire community together and organizing such an angelic performance. So I look forward to it, and I think pretty much all the council is too. So thank you. Okay, so this portion of our meeting is, normally we would have a set of minutes. We don't have a set of minutes to approve tonight. Tonight's going to be a pretty small meeting. Well, I shouldn't say small, but we don't have as many items. But this is the time where we do our municipal announcements, and a lot of times the council sits on various boards. So I'm going to turn the time over to them to make their announcements as well. So who would like to go first?
As customary, I will go first. Davis Arts Council does a small stage series every other Friday, and tomorrow at 6 p.m. Across the parking lot in their small stage area, they'll be featuring a singer by the name of Morgan Thomas. This is a free event. It will start at 6 p.m., and it's a small venue, so if you're interested in participating, please show up early. Also, the Layton Communities That Care is a organization or coalition here in our city that focuses on youth, drug and alcohol prevention, and suicide prevention. And so it is for families, and we have a Strengthening Families program that just ended and another session starting back up in January. Registration is already open for this, and it focuses on families with children ages 10 through 14. Childcare is provided for anyone who has children under the age of 10, and also dinner is provided. It is a 10-week program, I believe. You would meet once a week, but it is free, and it's open for any family in the city who has children of those ages. We have an English-speaking class and also a Spanish-speaking class. So please visit the Layton Communities That Care Facebook page, and you can sign up, send it to people that you know might be interested. It is good for everyone. Mm-hmm. And then lastly, the city has an active transportation plan. We had an open house last week, but we're still seeking your feedback on anything that's happening transportation-wise in the city, anything you want to see. And this will be open until next Monday, the 21st. You can visit the city website or Facebook page and provide your feedback. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Our Parks Department at Layton City has been working very hard to prepare for a very special time of year. We're excited when the holidays roll around and we get to welcome our residents as well as those from well outside our borders to enjoy the Lights Before Christmas display here in Constitution Circle. There will be a lighting ceremony this Tuesday evening, September, where am I? November 21st, 6:30 p.m.?
Not Tuesday, Monday.
Tuesday's a Monday?
It's Monday.
Sorry, Monday, the 21st, November 21st. There will be a short presentation about 6:30. Is it 6 or 6:30? I
Yeah,
believe
the
it's
choir.
6:30. A few elementary schools will provide a few musical numbers, and then the lights will turn on at 7 p.m. Then from then, the 21st through December 31st, the lights will be on from dusk until 11 p.m. to be enjoyed. So come out and enjoy.
And in addition to that, do you want to say it? This year also, during the lights, we call it the lights before Christmas that are going to be out here in the park. In the past, the Rotarians have sold hot chocolate just on the weekends, and there's been a big request to kind of extend that and offer it throughout the week. So they'll be selling hot chocolate and churros every night except for Sunday evening. And then there's actually going to be a fun new feature that I'll let Councilman Thomas talk about. Woo woo. Come on, that's your giveaway.
There's going to be a train. They stand up and cheer. We have this is a test. We have a train which we've rented. It's not anything near like the train we want to buy, but it does represent a train and how it may fit in with the lights before Christmas. But we've rented a little train for a week, so the 12th through the 17th of December in the evening, you can sit in the train, bring your kids because they'll love it, and you'll go around the park. It will cost a little money. I don't know how much. I haven't been privy to that. I'm the engineer. So if you trust me, good luck. If you don't trust me, then you're an intelligent person. But anyway, we're going to do this, and if everybody likes it, then we're going to buy a train that'll be here year-round for whatever we want to use it for. So that's what we're doing, and I'm not one to
Okay, thank you. The
Say,
cost will be
okay.
$2. And there may be a discount if you buy the chocolate and the churros together. But, okay, we have another announcement. Councilman Morris?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. We also, so tomorrow, KUTV News, the Davis Education Foundation, and the Davis School District, they've partnered together for a holiday food drive. It's going to be between 3 o'clock and 6:30 at the Northridge High parking lot. They are looking for food items such as canned food, cereal, ramen, pasta and sauce, baking items, canned chicken, and tuna. They have enough veggies. I guess nobody wants to eat their veggies, but they have enough. Don't bring veggies. But those
Well,
other items.
Actually, they did say that they do want veggies as well, just not as much.
Okay, so people are eating their veggies. I'm just reading this.
I know.
The food's going to benefit all of the schools in Davis School District. We have food pantries at Northridge. We have food pantries at Layton High School. We have pantry packs that go out throughout the school district as well for the elementary kids for over the weekend. So this food is going to benefit all members in the Davis School District. So again, tomorrow, 3 o'clock, 6:30, Northridge parking lot. Bring some food items. Thanks.
Okay, very good. Any other announcements? Okay, let's go ahead then and proceed with any type of municipal announcements or actually any citizens' comments at this time. I know that I believe we had one comment. I know that you had approached me earlier. Do you want to stand up now? McCoy?
No, I just.
You don't want to? Okay, all right.
I just wanted to get that to you, but I can just review later.
Okay, all righty. That sounds good. Okay, go ahead, ma'am. You can just make sure you state your name and address for the record.
Sure. Hi, my name is Amy Motta, M-O-T-T-A. My address is 1174 Milton Avenue in Salt Lake City. And I am a volunteer with the Humane Society of the United States. I'm a humane policy volunteer leader. And my job is to educate policymakers on all matters of animal welfare. My focus being on the problem of puppy mills and the puppies coming out of those mills being sold in pet stores. And I urge the council again to pass a humane pet store ordinance to prevent a store from opening in Layton that would sell puppies from puppy mills. And just as a definition that was established in a federal court case in 1984, Avanson v. Zegart in Minnesota in the 6th Division, defines a puppy mill as a dog breeding operation in which the health of the dogs is disregarded in order to maintain low overhead and maximize profits. And this is a definition that is agreed upon and adopted by the Humane Society of the United States, Best Friends Animal Society, ASPCA, Humane Society of Utah, and other welfare groups. So notice that the definition does not have a specific number. It can be 2 breeding animals. It could be 5,000 breeding animals. And so I just am here to encourage the council to consider a humane pet store ordinance, which Mr. Crane has a copy of, and I'm happy to send again. And I'm also happy to meet with any members of the council to talk about this issue further. Thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, is there anyone else before I move on to a special presentation? Okay, seeing that there's none. As many of you can see, we've got a pretty full audience here tonight with a bunch of young men that are quite successful young men. And I'd like to invite Coach Ray up to kind of give us some details here. But this is exciting. And I really want to say it, but Coach Ray, you need to let the residents of Layton know what your team has done.
All right. Last time I stood in front of a panel like this, it was for a speeding ticket and crossing a double white line. So the circumstances today are different. But first of all, my name is Ray Stowers. I'm the proud head football coach of a school called Layton Christian Academy, right up the street. And I feel honored and real grateful to be here today with majority of our football team. These boys have earned themselves a state championship, right, at the 1A level. So super proud of these guys, and thank you, Mayor Petro, and the council members and the city officials for having us today. And you know, I'm so proud of these boys. They definitely deserved first state championship in school history at Layton Christian, and
That's cool.
extremely honored to be here. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Do you want to mention how many scholarships were also awarded?
So of our 17 seniors, we were able to get 14 scholarships through football, and that's pretty amazing, you know, for these young men. And the coaches and myself were just so, you know, honored to be able to provide a platform, you know, with these kids. I've been there for 2 years now, and man, with what the program has been through, I think football has been open for the last 20 years at LCA, and I'm pretty sure LCA was ranked at the very bottom, right? A lot of tough years at LCA, and you know, between the coaches and myself, when I came in 2 years ago around COVID year, we put together a program and established a culture that these kids they brought into, you know, and they believed, you know, and I'm so proud of all the hard work they put in, and they earned that right to go and win state for the first time in school history. And you know, the scholarships are just a bonus. It's a validation of, you know, the work they put in, and And we're so honored to really represent the city of Layton and the whole state, you know. And now people are talking about us again, and there's a good buzz, you know. And there's only 6 of these state championships in the whole state. You can only get 6 of them, and we got one of them here in Davis County. And I'm extremely proud, you know, that hopefully we represented our city well. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you very much. Any of you want to make comments? So I have to say that the neat thing about this school, in case anyone doesn't know, is these are kids that come from all over the world. They've never played ball together. And for the coaches there to take that type of an organization and really drill into them the importance of the self-determination shows that you've got what it takes to have winners there. And congratulations, Eagles, on this state title. On behalf of the council and myself and all of us here at Layton City, we do have treats for you up here. This is a very short meeting, and I know that LCA is an academy, it's a school, so we're going to make you sit through your government lesson first, only because we have one more item on the agenda. You can learn from this, and then afterwards we'd like to celebrate with you. So, did you have something you want to say?
Yeah, what was the final score? I read it in the paper. It was
5-19.
That's not bad for a state title win. So, good job, guys.
Yeah, thank you, and congratulations. Okay, council, we're down to our consent items. I know I did shuffle the order a hair, but we're down to our consent items. And just so you gentlemen know that on a consent item, there could be 1, there could be 5 or 10 items on there. But the important thing about a consent item is we can present them all and then act in just one single motion as far as the adoption. But tonight we only have 1 item, and I'm going to turn the time over to Mr. Chad Wilkinson, who's our economic director, and he's going to present an amendment to a subdivision plot.
Thank you. Mayor, Council, this is, as the mayor mentioned, a subdivision amendment. This is for
we have 2
the
items.
Quail Hollow Phase 2 subdivision. Just to give you some context on where that subdivision is located, that red dot's about the approximate location. It's 2444 north, 1675 east. This is a red outline with the zoning of the surrounding properties shown. Those properties that are proposed for amendment are all underneath that red on the picture and that cross hatching. It's within a residential zone, R110 zone there in the city. You can see some agricultural zoning there to the kind of south and east of it. Other R110 properties to the west and R18 to the north. This is the subdivision lots that are under review tonight. There's 4 of them. There are 2 flag lots there in the rear and then 2 lots there in the front of this subdivision amendment. I want to just pause here at this particular photo because I think it may illustrate this amendment maybe even better than the plats themselves. But when the access driveway for the subdivision lots to the rear here, these 2 flag lots was constructed, it didn't follow those original easement or driveway lines there you can see there. So the subdivision amendment will create an easement that will follow that subdivision access way, will allow for this lot, which is lot 10 in the existing subdivision, to have some additional buildable area. We'll move that buildable area a little bit further to the north, away from some of those sloped areas to give that lot some additional building opportunity. I'll show that plat now just to illustrate what I'm talking about, but you can see that easement area has been straightened out, that access and utility easement to match what the actual construction on the lot is. What that does, instead of having a curved lot line that comes down in this area, it straightens that and moves the buildable area again to the north, allowing for this lot to have a little bit more buildable area. The lots, because it's a subdivision amendment, have to be renumbered, so those are now 207, 208, 209, and 210 instead of 7, 8, 9, and 10. This is the original plat. You can see that curved driveway or access line there on that plat. This was reviewed by the Planning Commission, and the Planning Commission has forwarded a positive recommendation to the City Council that you approve the Phase 2 subdivision, Quail Hollow Phase 2 subdivision First Amendment, subject to meeting all the city requirements, and I'm happy to answer any questions if you have any.
Okay. Council, do you have any questions on this?
Obviously, there's a home in 207. And it has a straight road. So there's no problem with moving the line up.
The line will now match that straight
We'll
road.
match that straight.
Yep, that's right.
And so I assume that the property owner has to say that's okay.
Yes, all those 4 property owners are included in the subdivision amendment.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay,
Thanks.
seeing that there's none, then I'll bring it back to the council for action.
Mayor, I'd make a motion that we approve the consent item A, Quail Hollow Phase 2 subdivision, First Amendment.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved in second that we adopt the amendment. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, thank you very much. Okay, we do have a public hearing here, so, and it's regarding our budget. So I'm going to turn the time over to Mr. Tracy Pobert, who will present that information, and then I'll turn it back over to the council to open up the public hearing.
Mayor, members of the council, tonight I bring you ordinance 22-26 to amend the budget for fiscal year 2022-2023, which is the year that we're in right now. A public hearing was noticed for tonight, and so following my comments, we'll open to the public for any comments they may have on these budget amendments. In summary form, the general fund is proposed to be amended $59,908.76. $47,308 of that is for a project around the Ed Kimley Amphitheater for curb, gutter, and pedestal installation of lighting. Also, $12,600 of that is to recognize revenue from the Fire Academy and under an agreement with the Davis Applied Technical College. Some of the 2 larger items presented in these amendments relate to the project on 2700 West. So there's $2,250,000 that need to be added to the 2700 West project between Gentile and Hillfield for street construction. Most of that funding is used for property purchases, remnant parcels and so forth, appraisals that have changed, and also a portion of that funding will be coming back to the city once the project is completed with the sale of some of those parcels that were unneeded for the project. The water portion of the project is $275,000, street lighting $200,000, storm sewer $650,000, and sewer $50,000. Those are additions to funding that has already been approved for that project. The majority of those related to utilities are due to increases in prices and contracts, so forth, related to the project. The other large item on the project relates to our special meeting that we had earlier today, and that's putting funding in the budget for the secondary water metering project. That project total $7,140,000, $5 million of that to come through federal grant funding, $2,140,000 of that at this time to come from the reserves of the water fund until such time as it's determined if we move forward with the bonding that was discussed in our earlier meeting today. Let me see if I've covered all of the main items. Oh, one other item that was in these amendments that's worth mentioning is an amendment for $396,000 in the Community Development Block Grant Fund. The city is partnering with, well, I'm not sure that we're partnering, but we've agreed to pursue the Community Development Block Grant funding that's available to the city and move that over to the Davis Education Foundation for the construction of a teen resource center and the property purchase related to that teen resource center. So these are not necessarily city funds, but they're federal funds that the city has access to. And those funds are from years that were 6 or 7 years back and were due to expire. And so with a joint effort between various organizations, the Davis Education Foundation, Davis School District, the city, private donors, this funding was accessed and approved for this project. And so we need to put that into our budget so that we can transfer those funds over to the foundation. Are there any questions concerning any of these amendments?
Just had one there.
For council. So you can ask the questions now, and then we can open up the public hearing if you need, or just.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Tracy, I just had, maybe, can you speak to the 1.45 million that was being allocated for the additional funding to 2700 West was coming out of Prop 1 funds? Can you speak to just Prop 1 funds, what they're used for, and why that's being utilized for 2700 West?
Yes, so there's additional tax of 0.1%, so I think it's 1 cent on, 1 cent on every dollar that goes for transportation. And the city collects that money and brings it into a fund, and then we budget it every year to spend on different projects. Usually it goes towards streets or parks projects, and as was mentioned, there's an active transportation plan out there, and so over the years, some of that funding's gone towards trail development or bike lanes or different things related to people in the city being able to get around in an active transportation sort of way. And then some of it's also used for street construction, which is what's proposed here, to use 1.4 million of that towards the 2700 West project.
Any other questions? Go ahead.
On the 5 million we received as a grant,
Yes.
and then we have 1,800,000 that we're looking at possibly bonding, if that's the correct word. But we're also, at this time, they've opened the grant up again, and we're looking at trying to relieve some of that money through grants as well.
Correct.
So that could not happen in the sense that we go and get a 1% loan. We may get a grant that covers it. But I'm sure we still have money we got to put in whatever we don't get on the grant.
Right.
And we'll have to take care of it.
And so to explain the purpose tonight, in order to start the project, we have to have the money in our budget. So in order to approve a contract, $7.1 million, we can't do that unless we have money in our budget. And so for that reason tonight, the budget amendment is to use reserves, although, like Councilmember Thomas said, we're possibly going to issue some bonded debt in order to pay for part of that project. Unless more grant funding comes through, then we won't issue as much debt, or we may not issue any debt for that project. It depends on how much additional grant funding is available. But in order to move the project forward, in order to send the documents out to bid with contractors and then eventually approve a contract of this size, the budget amendment has to be done up front.
Okay, that's a good explanation. Okay, any other questions? Okay, if not, I'll look for a motion to open our public hearing.
So moved. I
Okay.
second it.
Okay, this is, the public hearing is now open, so if anyone wishes to speak specifically on the amendments to our budget, you're welcome to do so. Once again, you need to state your name and address for the record at the podium. Okay, looks like we don't have any comments, so council, I'll bring it back to you for closing of the public hearing and taking action.
Let's close the public meeting.
Okay. Are you going to present the amendment? What to do?
Well, and so I'm sorry. I just wanted to get out of here. And I propose that we do accept ordinance 22-26.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we close the public hearing and adopt ordinance 2226 regarding the amendment of our budget for the fiscal year 2022-23. I'll look for a roll call vote on this. So I'll start down here with Councilmember Roberts.
Yes.
Councilman Bloxham.
Yes.
Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Sorry. Councilman Bettina Smith Edmondson. Sorry.
Aye.
I was on a roll, man. Councilman Thomas.
Yeah.
Okay, there you have it. It's unanimous that we adopt the amendments to our budget. That's the last item on our agenda, unless there's any unfinished business. If not, I'll look for a motion to close, to adjourn, and be able to celebrate with the Layton Christian Academy State 1A Championship team. Okay, there you have it. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Gentlemen, come on up.